import the whole thing, including the flat roof. There you go. For 500 euros, you get the house. I mean, same thing can be done here in the United States. Same thing can be done in any time you have crisis, you know, when you have tsunamis, this and that. People need their own personal space. This will be a great idea. Tata is not the only company in the space. There are other companies, but Tata is getting a free publicity through BBC. I like that.
Well, you know, I have questions about it because Tata Group, the Nano, did not turn out to be as popular as they expected because there are a lot of people who felt like, I don't want to drive the cheapest car and I will socially look kind of bad in front of my peers if I do. And the cheap housing, while they're talking to, you know, village officials and government officials about what parts of rural India might want these kinds of homes, they still really need to look at the distribution chain for the supplies and need to figure out what makes sense in terms of the climate and the social structure within these communities to build these kinds of homes. I mean, it's one thing to say you can do it inexpensively. It's another thing to do it sustainably. And I think that is the question for Tata.
That's true. Of course, it'll need sewer line and the water line and the infrastructure is not there. But you will get a house.
That's true. You will have 4 walls and a roof, hopefully. Well, my last story to share with you this week is about 2 twin sisters, Indian Americans, Riddhi and Siddhi Kara, who have started a very interesting and innovative business about sari rentals. Now, this sounds kind of strange, right? Why would you need to rent clothes? The idea is that there are a lot of people who have a one-time special occasion, really heavy sari that they need to wear, whether it be for a wedding or some other major event, and they're never going to wear it again. In fact, there are many cases in which there are non-Indians who might be part of a wedding party, and it's the one time in their life that they're going to wear a sari. So why would they spend hundreds of dollars on an expensive sari for a special occasion when perhaps they could rent one instead?
Men have been doing it all this time. At the tuxedos, they just go ahead and rent it.
Precisely. Yeah. So their business is called Borrow It Bindas, and bindas means kind of like a chilled out or laid back attitude. And these 2 young sisters have a collection of saris that you can rent between $40 and $200. They also have sari blouses, petticoats, accessories, and they're planning on even further expanding their product line.
And they give you pins in case you need to tighten it, or they give you stretchers, so on and so forth. I mean, it's very good service.
It's really creative. They have what they call a little kit, a bindas kit, when you get a sari, and they take care, first of all, of the dry cleaning and all of that, so the renter doesn't need to worry about that. But you get your pins, you get your bindis, you get a pamphlet that explains how you drape a sari. So for the amateur or the novice, it might be a good and reasonably priced option.
And you know, Indian folks around here don't want to be seen in the same sari in the same 10 years. So this will be good for them. You know, saris are very expensive. Good saris, folks, cost anywhere from $250 to as much as, a wedding sari costs as much as $2,000.
That's right. It can be very expensive. And so I think they're getting very creative. They've worked with designers in India. They've also looked at how styles are different between the India and the U.S. because there are some styles that may be very popular and fashionable in India. The example they gave is large gemstones and netting material that actually are not that popular among Indian Americans. And so they're trying to figure out what those trends are, what the preferences are, and carry those kinds of garments that are really attractive for the American market.
Yeah, I really think that's a great business model. Well, folks, that's about all we have for you. I want to wish you a very wonderful weekend. Namaste.
Namaste. We're talking about an exciting new play called A Tryst with Destiny. It is about India's independence and freedom struggle from the British. And we have with us the writer and director of this play, Dr. Amita Jha, as well as the star of the play, Dr. Natwar Gandhi. Now, many of you remember Dr. Gandhi as the District of Columbia's Chief Financial Officer. Well, he's an actor now, too. So welcome to the studio to both of you. And Dr. Gandhi, can you tell us a little bit about this play?
Yes, the play is about the Indian partition and also about the Indian independence movement. But basically, the whole argument about why there was a need for partition and emergence of Pakistan.
And Dr. Jha, can you tell us what inspired you to write this play? As I understand, you're not a playwright by profession, so why did you decide to write a play about Indian independence?
Well, yeah, I'm not a playwright by profession, but theatre is my great interest. So, as I was reading the material on independence struggle and the letters between Nehru and Gandhi, I thought it was very interesting material for theatre.